Greetings. Today I'd like to do a real quick first look at the new ePSB from Audioroot. This is a device that takes USB-C power delivery in and then outputs it to your sound equipment. I happen to have the version here that has a TA4 connector. You can also get it with a Harusi connector and a full-sized XLR4. And so what does this thing do, right? Well, you connect a USB power bank, and now you can power your bag or individual mixer, whatever, from drop rig, etc., from a USB power bank, and have a lot of power available. On USB power banks these days are also usually you can get them fairly inexpensively. Audioroot, however, does a little bit of extra magic. This supports USB power delivery, but it also supports an additional thing called PPS mode that not all power banks support. This Anchor one that I have here does. And the important bit about that is with PPS, instead of negotiating 15 volts, it's able to negotiate 17 volts. And why is that important? When you have a device, so this is the Deity SPD1, and I admit this is maybe not exactly the best device to demo this with because it has USB-C input on its own, but my main trio is in the sound bag that's recording this, so I can't really pull it out to show it. But the SPD1 has two TA4 inputs. Same thing with the eSMART trio. Actually, it's got three technically, but two of them are combined into a balanced pair. And the electric circuits in these things, both the SPD1 and the eSMART trio, are such that when you have two batteries connected and one has higher voltage than the other, basically the system will pull from the one that has the higher voltage only until they hit equilibrium, and then it brings them both down equally. So what is the advantage then of this doing 17 volts? It means that compared to an eSMART battery, it's always going to have the higher voltage. So when connected to something like an SPD1 or the Audioroot trio, or I don't know what other devices, those are the main ones I have, that you will have the USB battery bank used as your main source for power always. And then when this is extinguished, then it'll switch over to the other battery if you happen to have another battery connected. So you can use one eSMART as like your hot failover backup battery, and then have your battery banks, your USB-C battery banks act as your primary source, and you can get these in quite large capacities. Not that you can't, a 99 watt-hour eSMART's a decent amount of juice as well. But the way I look at it, this device is going to be great for additional drop recorders that need to go somewhere, right? Hook up USB battery bank, maybe doesn't need to be this giant one, and have it go straight to a recorder, and it'll run all day or more. If I plug this in, there are two LEDs on the ePSB, The solid blue one indicates that it has negotiated PPS 17 volts. If it's blinking, then it's just normal 15 volts from PD negotiation. And then the green is saying that it is negotiated PD with the device. So if you have problems with the PD, you're not going to get green, and you probably need to use a different battery bank. And like I say, for blue, ideally you want it to be a battery bank that supports 17 volts. And this is probably not going to come in too well, but you can see that it has negotiated 17 volts, and there's 0 watts because obviously there's nothing connected to it at the moment. So anyway, I'm going to keep this one real short. It's a new device. I'm probably even going to order one of the ones that's Hiroshi so that I can, again, some of the stuff I would want to use for drops are Hiroshi, and that means I don't have to stick a power distro in between. But at the same time, if I need to use this with my main bag, then I can, because the Trio obviously takes TA4 in. Hope that helps. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments down below. Thanks. Cheers.